Hello, my name's Victoria James Seymour, and I am a Tutlo tutor from the UK. So today is my first live webinar, so thank you for joining me. And I am going to be doing a webinar on pronunciation. So let's go. Okay, so pronunciation struggles. What did you say? So when learning a new language, most people at some point or another struggle with the pronunciation. Languages have different sounds and we use the tongue and the mouth differently. So it's strange. Hello everyone. Hi. Great to see you all there. Hello. Yeah, so we use the mouth very differently. The tongue, the mouth, so it can be very strange at first. I'll give you an example. I worked in China and I don't eat meat. So it was very important in a restaurant for me to say 不吃肉, which means I don't eat meat. And I could never get the tongue right. I'd be like 不吃肉. And they would look at me, the waitresses and the waiters, like I was a mad person. So it was very frustrating because then I'd have to use Google Translate and I didn't want to. I wanted to pronounce it. So eventually I practiced where the tongue went, 不吃肉, and I got it. So hopefully this presentation will help you a little. So nice to see you all there. Okay, so what am I going to cover in this session? Differences with UK and USA pronunciation, words that are spelt the same but have different pronunciations and meanings, different words that students sometimes pronounce the same, words that students may struggle with, and words ending in ing, the ing sound. Okay, let's start. Okay, first of all, British versus American English. There are many differences with American and British English and pronunciation. And I think it's good to know, especially if English is your second language. You may be a part of a business that has customers, clients that are both British and American, or you may go on a social event, a holiday or a party and speak to both British and American English. So that's what we're going to look at first. There's the obvious ones like tomato and tomato. But I've tried to use words that could be used generally, but also you might use in a business meeting or something like that. Hello from Hungary. So yes, and also underneath the word, I've put a sentence, and I will say it in both a British accent and American accent. I'm sorry about my American accent. I'll apologize now. I'll try my best. And then beneath the sentence, I've written the word phonetically, how it sounds. So it's spelt wrong at the bottom, but it's how it sounds to make it easier. Okay, let's go. The first one is privacy. Privacy. So in British English, we say privacy. And American English, they say privacy. Privacy, privacy. So, Powell, I don't see anything. Does everyone else see okay? Maybe it's your connection. Is everyone else okay? Can everyone see me? Just somebody let me know that yes, they can see me, so I know it's not my end. Is that okay? Someone just say yes, and then I will continue because someone said I don't see. Oh, thank you. Yes, okay. So Powell, thank you. If you just maybe check your end, that would be great. Thank you. Okay, so in the British English, we would like some privacy to discuss your offer. American English, we would like some privacy to discuss your offer. Told you my American accent's not great. So English, think priv. And the USA, think prive. Privacy, privacy. Excellent. The next word is route. Okay. And the USA pronunciation is route. So in a British sentence, it is up to you and your company to decide which route you would like to take. The American, it is up to you and your company to decide which route you would like to take. So the root, the British version, we pronounce it like we would the vegetable, the root vegetable, although it's spelt R-O-U-T-E. And the American, it's route, out sound, the out sound. So root for British and route for American. Okay, the next one is presentation. In Britain, we say presentation. And in America, they say presentation, presentation. So British, we are ready for your presentation now. And American, we are ready for your, we are ready for your presentation now. Presentation. So the British is pres, think pres for the first syllable. And the USA is pres and presentation. Okay, niche. Before I do the pronunciation properly, I'm going to just explain what niche is, because it's maybe a word that is unfamiliar to some of you. It's a word that's not used too often. So niche means to find a small area in the market that has maybe been overlooked by other businesses and that could be a success. So it's finding a need in the market. So for instance, in the last few years, veganism, being a vegan, has become very big in the UK, but maybe 5 years ago, it wasn't so big. And there was a need for it. Some people were interested in a vegan diet. So certain restaurants and supermarkets realized that there was a need, there was a niche in the market and they could make money. So they started selling more vegan products, and the restaurants started having more vegan dishes on the menu. And so it created a niche in the market that then became very successful. And it's a much bigger niche now, but it's not really a niche anymore. It's very big in the UK. So yes, it's a small area in the market that you think there's a need for, and it can be successful, and you go for it. So we found a niche in the market which we believe will be successful. In America, they say niche. We found a niche in the market which we believe will be successful. Okay, so we found a niche in the market which we believe will be successful. So niche is the ish sound for British and niche for the USA. Okay, so niche in the market. Okay, the next one is schedule. Schedule. So in Britain, we say schedule for like the timetable, schedule for the week. And in the USA, they say schedule, schedule. So British, this is our new work schedule. And American, this is our new work schedule. Okay, so schedule for British and schedule for American. So think shed for British, and schedule, sk sound. Let me know if I speak too fast, if I get nervous and speak too fast. Okay, another one. I've only got a couple more on this before I move on. Semi. He is a semi-professional photographer. And in America, they say semi. He is a semi-professional photographer. So we focus on the E sound in the British, sem-E, and the I sound, sem-I, in the American pronunciation. Okay, so there are many different examples of British versus USA pronunciation on the internet. And I will put this link for you. I should have it here now, I think. Yeah. Let me just get rid of that. I think this is it here. Hold on. I'll put the link in for you now, and then you can copy it if you want. And also, if you want to know his name, he goes under Eat, Sleep, Dream English. Eat, Sleep, Dream English. And he has really lots of good YouTube videos, and he speaks very clearly. So Okay. Okay, the broadcast is not working, and someone else has said, I lost connection. Again, can I ask, is that everyone? Is the broadcast gone down, or is it just certain people? Can anyone hear and see me? Can people still hear and see me? Yes, yeah. I lost connection. Anyone else? It's okay. It's okay. Yes, so many people can. So, okay, I will continue then. Thank you. Okay, let me continue. Now we're going to go on to words that are spelt the same, but have different pronunciations and meanings. I think this is one of the most confusing things in the English language. We have so many words that look exactly the same, maybe even pronounced the same sometimes, but a completely different meaning, or sometimes are completely pronounced differently also. So it can be very, very confusing. So in this next section, I will focus on words that fit into this context. So I will do my best to explain both the different meanings and the pronunciation. Let's begin. Okay. So first we have present and present. Present and present. So on the screen on the top left, you can see a gift, a present. And the stress is on the first part of the word, the first syllable. Present, present. So in a sentence, she bought me a lovely present. Present. And then if you go to the other side of the screen, you can see a classroom with some children in. And this is exactly the same pronunciation, present, with the stress at the beginning of the word, the first syllable, present, present. But it's a completely different meaning. It means to in the room, to be present. I am present. The students were all present. And then in the bottom of the screen, you have a man in front of a presentation, and he stood up and he's about to present the presentation. So show something or yourself, or maybe I would like to present to you my wife. And the stress is on the second part of the word, sent, present, present. It was time to present his ideas. So you have present with a stress at the beginning, and present, which is the stress on the second part, present, present. Okay. Next word, we have refuse, refuse, and refuse. Refuse and refuse. So first, the refuse is the rubbish, something discarded or thrown away as trash. Refuse, the stress is on the first part of the word, the first syllable, refuse. The refuse truck was down the street. And then the second word is refuse, refused, showing unwilling to do something or say no. And the stress is on the last part of the word, the second syllable, refuse, refuse. So refuse, refuse. She had to refuse his offer. So refuse and refuse. Okay. Next one, we have produce, produce, and produce. Produce, produce. So to produce something is to create something, provide or offer something. Juice. The stress is on the last part of the word, the second syllable. Produce, produce. He worked all night to produce the marketing strategy. And then we have produce, produce. The stress is on the first part of the word. The company had a wide range of vegan produce, produce and produce. Okay. Okay, I think this might be the last one. No, there's one more after this. Okay, so we have sewer. Sorry, the first one is sower, a sower, and a sewer. So very similar, but sower and sewer, and I will break them down. So a sewer is a person, or it could be a machine that sews clothes and other objects or fabrics. So the stress is on the first part of the word, sewer, sewer. She got a job as a sewer for a big company. It sounds like so, S-O. So you don't really hear the E sound. It's a so, O sound, sewer. And the second version is sewer, sewer. And that is an underground drain or pipe that's used to carry away surface water or sewage. Sue. Like sower, the stress is also on the first part of the word, the first syllable. We have a contract to renew the sewer lines. But it sounds like Sue, the name Susan, or if you were to sue someone in a court of law, I sued my friend for stealing my money or something. So sue, oo sound, and the first one is an O sound. So, O, sue, sower and sewer. Okay, then we have lead and led, both spelt the same. Lead, to guide or direct, show the way. I have asked Jane to lead the meeting. It sounds like lead with two E's, lead. And then lead, which is a type of metal. Lead is a soft metal that is easy to bend in a sentence. So it sounds like lead, even though it's spelt the same as lead. And just put as a side note, obviously lead is a word, but it's spelt differently to the lead, the metal. So for example, Jane led the meeting yesterday, so like in past tense. So that's lead and lead, and then lead at the bottom also, but spelt differently. I hope it's you're all keeping up so far. Okay, and this is definitely the last one. This is deliberate, and deliberate. Deliberate, deliberate. So deliberate is to do something intentionally on purpose. And the stress is on the second syllable, deliberate. The end sound, which is different to the other one, is rut, deliberate. Even though it's spelt rate, it's pronounced rut, deliberate. Okay, then we have deliberate. And this is to consider, think about, discuss options. And the stress is on the fourth syllable, deliberate. They needed time to deliberate over the offer, to think about the offer. They needed time. And the sound at the end is rate, deliberate. So it's rut for deliberate and rate for deliberate. So I think rut and rate. Okay, so now I'm going to go on to different words that students sometimes pronounce the same. So it's two words, but often they are pronounced the same. And this might not apply to you, but when I've been on Tutlo and when I've taught in other countries, these are the words that come up quite often. So if it's not you, then maybe just still practice or just use it as a recap. Okay. So we have ship and sheep. Ship and sheep. So many people sound the same when they say ship and sheep, and maybe it's because they say it quickly. So ship obviously is a large vessel, a boat, and it's a ship, ip sound at the end. Ip. The ip at the end is short and it's a quick ship. So we say that quite quickly. We don't say ship. And then sheep, the fine animal. farm animal, okay? And the sound at the end is eep, eep, sheep. So the eep at the end is longer, more drawn out sound. So I think this is where you can differentiate. If you say ship, ip is quick, and sheep, sheep is longer. Sheep, ship, sheep. So think of the ip sound and the eep sound. Kiss and keys. Kiss, to kiss somebody, and it's the is sound. Is, is. The sound at the end is is. And then keys, used to lock or unlock something. Ease, ease. The sound at the end is ease. So we've got is for kiss, is, nice wide mouth, and keys, keys. It's a softer mouth. Kiss, keys, more down here. Bum, bum and bomb. Bum and bomb are often two words that sound the same but are completely different things. So bum obviously is your bottom that you sit on, at the bottom of your back, and it's a sound. So the lips, your top lip comes under your teeth. Bum, bum. And the bomb is a sound, but the sound at the end is and it sounds like bomb without the b, because the b is silent. We don't say bomb, it's just bomb. So think with the top lip coming under, bum, and bomb, which is more of a round shape with your mouth. Bomb, bum, bomb. Never said bum so many times in my life, I don't think. Okay, another one is uncle, and ankle. Uncle and ankle, two words very similar, so they're often mistaken. Uncle, your mum or dad's brother. So the first syllable is stressed, and the sound at the beginning is un. Sounds like uncle, uncle. An. So if you notice the difference in my mouth, it's all very in. Uncle. Tongue at the bottom of the mouth. And then ang. The mouth is wide and big. Ankle, which is your foot that is attached to your ankle. So again, the first syllable is stressed, but the sound at the beginning is an. Sounds like ankle. So think smaller in uncle, ankle, wide, ankle. Uncle, ankle. Sorry if I look strange with my mouth. Chick and cheek. Chick and cheek. Again, very similar words, but are often mistaken when I'm talking to my students. Chick is a baby chicken, a hen, and the sound at the end is ick. Ick. I-C-K. Chick, ick. Ick. Again, nice and wide. Ick. And then cheek. Cheek. Your mouth is much softer. Cheek, cheek, chick, wide, cheek, softer. And the sound at the end is eek. So ick, eek, softer mouth. Eek, ick for chick, eek for cheek. Okay, so moving on. I'm going fast. I hope I'm not going too fast for you. Okay, so these are words that students sometimes struggle with. So these are the words that speaking to students, they said that they struggled with. So again, it might not apply to you, but it's good to practice. So and just to recap, so hopefully you can still get something from it. Okay, so let's see what we've got first. Course. Many of my, this is actually more my Polish students, will often say kaus. I've been on a kaus instead of course. So obviously there's three different things there. We have a golf course. We have a training course. Maybe you've gone on a training course with work or an online course. And then you have a course for your meal. So my main course, my first course, my last course. And the tongue stays at the bottom of the mouth throughout. Course. It's at the bottom. Course. And think about horse or morse. So it's an orse sound, not a couse. Course, orse. So your tongue stays at the bottom of your mouth. Okay. Squirrel. This is the one I get quite a lot of students say. Squirrel. Oh, Christoph, I'm sorry it's not working. I don't know. It seems to be working for a lot of people, so I apologize. Squirrel. So for the squir, my lips are rounded and my tongue is at the bottom of my mouth. Squir. So round mouth. Squir. And for the real sound at the end, my tongue comes up and ends up between my teeth. Squirrel. So the tongue is just gently between the teeth at the end. Squirrel. Start round. Squirrel. Okay, and teeth at the bottom, and then tongue comes up. Squirrel. Okay. Refrigerator. So I broke it down here a little bit. Refrigerator. Refrigerator. Okay. Fantastic. Anxious. The word anxious, when you feel that you are nervous, or maybe you are going on an aeroplane, and you feel anxious. And the X is silent. So I always say, think of it like a K. Anxious. And the second part of the word is like a sh in it. Anxious. Okay, so yeah, remember the X is silent. Anxious. Okay, and feather. This is a difficult one because the first part of the word, your top teeth are on your bottom lip. And the second part of the word, the tongue comes between your teeth. Feather. So a good way to practice the th sound, I did this with my Chinese students, is to put your finger on your lips quite firmly, like this, and your tongue should slightly touch your finger. Feather. 3. Third. 30. Now my tongue is coming out a lot because I'm exaggerating, but your tongue should become between your teeth gently. 3. 30. Have a little practice. So just put your nice and firm here. 33. And you should lick your finger slightly. Okay. Okay. I've got 2 minutes. So I'm going to go through this quickly. Words ending with ing. So I'll just do a couple. So things like a lot of my students say singing, but the G at the end is soft. You hardly say it. It should be singing. Tonight I will be singing. It's nice and soft. Singing. Bringing, not bringing. I will be bringing my brother. Okay. And it's the same with words with like walking and talking. The L and K is, the L is silent. So you would say, it sounds like ork. So walking, talking. Okay, so just try and make that last G soft. It's just walking, not walking. Okay, so I will be walking to work. Walking, ing, just a slight ing at the end, not ing. Okay. So just to quickly recap, because I'm running out of time quickly, sorry. So we looked at UK and US pronunciation, words that are spelt the same but different pronunciations, and different words students pronounce the same, words that students may struggle with, and words ending with ing. Please follow Tutlo on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And I will be opening up a poll in a moment. So please answer the poll so we can get some feedback. Maybe I spoke too fast. Maybe it was a bit difficult. And then we can learn from this. But it's been, thank you so much for listening. And I hopefully will be doing part 2 soon. And I hope you can join me again. So thank you very much. This is me, Victoria, signing off. Thank you. Don't forget to answer the poll.